welcome back. Today we are going to be doing just a small little job, some steel conduit work, fitting some additional sockets and lighting in the garage. So it should be quite nice. It's nice when people actually choose to do it properly. Okay, so we are here. We're going to be doing some sockets in the garage. I'll flip around and show you what we're going to get on with. So the client has already fitted 2 of the sockets on the wall for us. Lovely. So we just need to get some steel tube in between them with some saddles. Steel tube across here and around. Replace that with a metal clad with steel pipe coming up, and then an additional metal clad twin socket there, which should be an absolute doddle. At the same time, we need to get some steel tube out at the end of that light across and have a strip light running parallel with these units to give him light actually above the work surface. Tools we're going to be using: drill, impact, the Milwaukee M18 pipe threader, absolutely awesome bit of kit, the Milwaukee M12 bandsaw. I've got my Hilti SDS only because I don't have a Milwaukee one, and my Hilti Crossline green laser level as well. So yes, we're going to be using the Met Pro spacebar saddles. So these are the what do they actually call them? Rapid saddle, that's what they are. So they're actually, have one screw, so you undo that screw and it hinges down, so you don't end up actually, it's one piece essentially, you don't have to take it fully apart. So they're really good. We will be obviously threading properly, but yeah, gonna get some measurements done. Let's start cutting and threading some tube. Okay, got those socket faces off. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to measure between these 2 sockets here, so I can get that length of pipe cut, threaded and installed. Well, I'll set the laser up in a minute as well. Once I've got all my pipes cut, get the saddles all fitted, and then we can literally just start bunging things in. What we're going to do over here, where it's behind where that mini fridge goes, it's obviously going to be a 90-degree bend pulling the pipe there, but because it's a longish run and it's behind the fridge, I'm actually going to put a through box here as well, just to make things a bit easier for wiring it and things like that, and then easier if you want to do any additions in future as well. So that's the plan there, and then it will literally just be length of pipe going on again from that one to that one. So shouldn't be too bad. It's absolutely peeing it down outside. It's not nice at all. It was literally glorious this morning. Yeah, so I'm going to do some measurements, get them cut, and then we'll start moving on. Okay, we're going to get this one clamped down in your pipe vise. Make sure it's nice and solid in there. Going to be using good old cut and paste. This is Nylon stuff. So this is obviously the Milwaukee M18 pipe threader. I've had this for about a year now. Absolutely amazing bit of kit, not gonna lie. It'll set you back about 600 quid. That comes with, I believe, a 20mm die, which we got there. If you want the 25mm as well, you got to buy that separately, and that'll set you back about 280 quid. So not cheap, but if you're doing a lot of pipe threading, it is a fantastic tool, as you will see. So you've got forwards and backwards motion. To change the die, you've just got this locking wheel here. Twist that, die comes straight out. Nice and easy. So for this one, we want to thread back about half the length of a 20mm coupler, which are about 38 to 40mm long. So you want to do about 20mm, which is normally from the end of the pipe where it hits the stock to the end of the cutting face here. All right, and it's the same on the normal stock and dies. It's normally by the time you just get to the front edge of it. So. if you're doing this manually with stock and dies, you will normally want to do about 3 turns, clean it back a bit, and the same again. You probably should do the same with an electric one, but I don't bother. I want to make sure you ream the pipe out. I've just got a real cheap reamer here. I don't know what this is, from Amazon or something. But you just get rid of any sharp edges inside the conduit there. Because obviously when you pull cables through, they'll snag up on there otherwise, which we don't want. Okay, next thing you want to do, before we take it out of the vise, I would screw your other coupler on. If I can get it on there. Come on, there she goes. And double check the length of that before we try to fit it. Oh, I used to fit it out with the old one. Bang on, so 1634. Lovely. So that will now fit snugly bugly in between the two. Okay, so next thing, we want to get our bent into the piece that's going around the corner here. Now, I was always taught that it was 4 times the diameter of the pipe back is your marking point, so where you're going to bend it in the former. So if we can get a measurement from the corner to the edge of the box, minus your 18 or 20 millimeters that you need for the coupler inside, and then what you're going to do is take away 18 millimeters from that point, and that is where your mark is for the start of the bend in the former. So that's the mark on the top there. So then when you actually pull the bend around, where the other end of the pipe is should run parallel with that wall. What you want to do is take off about 4 or 5 millimeters from that as well, because you need to allow for the space bar on these saddles, or if it's a hospital saddle, it's even more sometimes. So you want to make sure you take that into account as well. But yeah, let's get that measurement done, and then we'll bend a bit of pipe and see if it works. Actually, we're working from an end where we can put a coupler straight on it, because it's already threaded, so we can actually get that measurement bang on first time. I'll put a coupler on there. If it doesn't work first time, it doesn't work first time, but in theory it should. Although my pipe benders aren't very good and don't have any markings on them. You think I would have set them up, but I've not had the time to do it properly. It takes a bit of mucking around, bending a few bits of pipe, and you can get the actual start of the bend location marked on there properly. So normally people do that with a hacksaw. They just actually cut a groove into it, so then you've got a mark that you know you're physically working to every time, which is quite nice. So what I can actually do, if I get this bit of conduit back to the wall there, front edge of my socket, yeah, so we want to lose 5 millimeters, let me get this out of my mouth, we're going to lose 5 millimeters to allow for the spacebar saddle, plus an additional 80 millimeters, which we can mark now. That should be the start of the bend. So you always want to make sure, where you've done your mark, where you've measured back from, so that is our actual point of the wall, so where you've measured back, you're always putting it through the bender that way, because then you're bending it the right way, and because if you do it the other way, your pipe will be 80 millimeters too short. Oh my God, that's strong enough. Oh, I'm struggling there now because of the work surface. Right, there we go. We're in. Okay, so that is where the start of my bend is in my former, I think. So we're going to go for it. Always try, as long as you keep where your marks are as well, on the top side, when you bend that, because that's the back of the bend, no one's ever going to see it, so if you use a Sharpie, it doesn't really matter. So put it to where you think 90 is. There are lots of tools you can get which can help with that. So digital gauges and things. Klein do a couple of digital gauges, which are quite good. So yeah, I'm off of 90 there. So as long as you've got enough length on the pipe, you can manipulate it by hand. So you can pull a bend in and out easy enough. So let's eye it up and have a little butcherage and see if it fits. Look at that. First bloody time on camera as well. That's why I get paid the big bucks. Cool. That is actually running parallel with the wall there as well. Nice. So what I'm going to do now is get the coupler tightened on there properly so we've got good earth continuity. And then I need to cut that in back, thread it, get the box fitted, and then we can start measuring for the next length and then the next length. And once they're all cut and threaded, we can start getting the laser out, SDS, drill all the fixings, fix the metal conduit fixings back, and then we're good to start fitting. So let's do that. Doing your bushes up, you want to get yourself one of these CK bush spanner. Pretty cheap, excellent tool, makes things much easier on these sort of jobs. I'll show you these saddles a minute. See, these are the rapid fit saddles. So what you can do, if you're in a long length of pipe, you can actually lay your pipe in here and flop the whole lot up into place, but you don't need to do that on this one. So what you can do there is just literally, oh, this is hard to do one-handed, not gonna lie. Not very good advertisement for MetPro. Right, hang on, I'll have to put it down again. Just give it a bit adjusted, there we are. So yeah, you can literally push the saddle up and they slide across. Bit of persuasion, there we go. Beautiful. Cool. bushes tightened up, so we'll go on and do the same on the rest. And then we can turn the power off and get the... So we're going to fit this last length of pipe here, which we've already bent and you've seen. So the conduit box ends up finishing about here. I've measured and cut this length of pipe, ready to go into this socket. Once we've done that, what we'll do is we'll turn the power off, get this taken off, fit that socket as well, and then we can do the last bit of pipe there. In fact, I can probably measure that anyway, get that all cut ready to go as well, and then we can literally start slapping the last two sockets on, and then we're on to wiring. Okay, conduit run, all in, right way around, up to the top of the units and across. So I'm going to get my singles in, get them pulled through. So I'm not going to show you guys how to do that, that's just teaching you how to suck eggs. But what I do is get all three cores, tape them together, but with one longer with the end bent over. And then I don't need a draw wire to do that on this then, be able to push it around just on my own. Easy peasy. So we'll get them in, get some second fix done, and then we've just got to do the light fitting on the ceiling as well. So not too bad. There we go, sockets all in, conduit done, sockets are connected, live. Just got a box lid to chuck on that one. And then I've also chucked in an additional strip light here to light the counter so it's not casting a shadow. That again, done on a bit of steel conduit, lovely. But all round, pretty nice job. Gone in really well. Just gonna have a good clean up and give the client a hand to get the stuff back up. He's got a fridge that sits up here which we need to lift up together, and then we're all good. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think of that Milwaukee threader. It is amazing. And if you've learnt anything, i.e. the 4 times the diameter measurement and things like that, let me know in the comments. It'd be great to know. I am planning on doing a dedicated conduit series very soon and trunking, so keep your eyes out for that. Yeah, thanks guys, see you soon.